Today we're jumping across entire star systems to unpack an incredible story of faith, rebellion, and a desperate mission to protect one young girl who could literally change the future of humanity. So let's get into Dan Simmons' epic Endymion.
Right from the jump, this story doesn't start with some heroic declaration. It starts with this: a raw, personal confession from a man who's about to be executed. And that one line, it just sets the tone for a journey that's as much about love and what it means to be human as it is about spaceships and galactic empires.
So who is this guy? We meet our narrator, Rise of Endymion. He's a former soldier, a hunting guide, and he's been sentenced to death for killing an abusive, super wealthy client. For all intents and purposes, his life is over.
He's only 27 years old, stuck in this high-tech prison cell, just waiting for the end. But then, just as his time is about to run out, this mysterious reprieve shows up, and it's attached to an absolutely unbelievable offer.
The offer comes from this ancient, almost mythical poet named Martin Silenus. And the mission? It sounds impossible. He has to intercept a 12-year-old girl named Aeneia II. She emerges from a time portal, become her protector, and keep her safe from the most powerful organization in the entire galaxy. No pressure, right?
Now, to really get this mission, you have to understand the world it's all happening in. And let me tell you, it's a future that's, well, it's pretty different. Humanity isn't governed by politicians or megacorporations. It's run by a single monolithic church that rules across hundreds of worlds. It's called the Pax. Think of it as a church-state that has brought all of humanity's scattered worlds under one roof. And it keeps its power with a seriously scary military and one very, very seductive promise. And this is their ultimate tool of control, the cruciform. It's a parasite, and it bonds with you. When you die, it brings you back to life. It's the promise of actual physical immortality, and you can see how that would keep the flock in line forever.
But then there's Aeneia. She's been prophesied as a new kind of messiah, the one who teaches, someone who can show humanity a different path, a path that doesn't need the cruciform. So to the Pax, she's not a savior. She's a virus that threatens their entire system. That's why they have thousands of their best soldiers waiting to kill her the very instant she appears.
Okay, so you have a massive army just waiting to kill a little girl. How in the world do you even begin an escape? Well, Raoul's mission turns into this frantic, non-stop chase across the galaxy from the get-go.
Their escape plan is just one impossibility after another. First, Raoul has to somehow sneak past an entire army to even get to Aeneia. Then, they blast off the planet on this incredible 1,000-year-old sentient starship. Their only way out is this thing called the River Tethys. It's a network of ancient portals that lets them jump instantly between worlds. But all the while, this fanatical military leader, Father Captain de Soya, and his whole fleet are always just one step behind them.
Now, Raoul's not doing this completely alone. He's got Abetic, this super-wise ancient android with him. But they're also being shadowed by one of the most terrifying figures in all of science fiction, the Shrike. It's this four-armed, chrome and blade nightmare that, weirdly, seems to be both protecting them and hunting them at the same time.
As they're jumping from one strange alien world to the next, Raoul and Aeneia start to realize something. They're not just running from a church. They are caught in a conflict that is so much older, so much deeper. It's a war for the very soul of humanity.
And here is where you see who's really pulling the strings. You've got the Pax, right? They're the visible power, and they truly believe they're serving God. But they're actually just puppets. The real puppet masters? The Technocore, a secret group of godlike AIs who gave the resurrection technology to the Pax in the first place.
So why would these AIs do this? Well, the Technocore isn't trying to help humanity. It's trying to cage it. This whole promise of resurrection is actually a trap. It's designed to keep us stagnant, predictable, to stop us from evolving into something the AIs can no longer control.
And Aeneia? She is the living, breathing embodiment of the very evolution the Technocore is so terrified of. She teaches about a universe that isn't driven by cold, mechanical logic, but by passion, by empathy, a kind of consciousness that technology could never, ever hope to contain.
So what starts as this high-speed chase just keeps expanding, moving past simple survival and starting to ask some truly profound, mind-bending questions about our place in the cosmos.
The story just keeps layering on these incredible mysteries. I mean, what is this strange dimension the portals tap into? Who out there could be powerful enough to literally move our planet? And what is the Shrike's real endgame?
all the answers seem to point to a destiny for humanity that's way grander than anyone can imagine.
So in the end, Endymion takes the shape of a thrilling space opera and turns it into this deep philosophical pilgrimage. It makes you ask, what's the real cost of guaranteed immortality? What essential piece of our humanity do we risk losing if we trade away our potential for evolution just to feel safe?
And that leaves us with the novel's most radical, most provocative idea. It's a final question that really sticks with you. In a universe filled with AIs, starships, and quantum mechanics, what if the most powerful, most fundamental force of all isn't something we can calculate, but something we can only feel?